Hello students, today we are going to start 6th chapter of our class 10th, that is life processes. These are the processes which are required to sustain life. These are nutrition, respiration, transportation and excretion. Now these four processes are the main life processes which are required to sustain life, and we are going to study all these four in detail one by one. So today in this session we will study nutrition. Nutrition. It is the process of taking nutrients and utilizing them to get energy. We are having two different modes of nutrition. These are autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. The mode of nutrition in which an organism prepares its own food on its own by taking the raw materials from the environment is known as autotrophic mode of nutrition. For example, our green plants. Only our green plants are autotrophs. They can prepare their own food themselves with the help of photosynthesis. Now we are having the second type of the nutrition, that is heterotrophic nutrition. It is the type of nutrition in which organism depends on others for its food. For example, all the animals. They depend on others, for example, the plants for their food. Now, this heterotrophic nutrition is of three types. One is saprophytic nutrition, other is parasitic nutrition, and the last one is Holozoic mode of nutrition. Saprophytic nutrition is that kind of nutrition in which organism derives its food from the dead and decaying matter. For example, mushrooms and molds come in this category. Now we are having parasitic nutrition. In parasitic nutrition, the organism lives inside or on the body of others for its food. For example, bed bugs and lice. They are deriving the food from our blood. Other one is Holozoic mode of nutrition. It is the mode of nutrition in which organism obtains complex food and converts this complex food into simpler form so that it can be easily absorbed by our blood and we can utilize it for the different purposes or different activities of our life. For example, human beings. Now we will take the nutrition in human beings in detail. Nutrition is a combination of five different processes. These are ingestion, which means taking the food into our mouth; digestion, which means the conversion of complex food into simpler form; absorption, which means the mixing of digested food into the bloodstream; assimilation means the utilization of absorbed food by our body cells; and ingestion, which means the removal of undigested food from the body. Nutrition in human beings is carried out in these five different processes. First one is ingestion. In human beings, ingestion takes place with the help of mouth and food is taken in to our buccal cavity through our mouth. Second one is digestion. Students, as you all know, that we take food in complex form, means the food is not in a state that it can be absorbed into our bloodstream, so we need to convert it into the simpler form. We are having different kind of nutrients, among which starch, proteins and fats cannot be absorbed into our bloodstream, so the starch needs to be converted into glucose, proteins needs to be converted into amino acid, and fat need to be converted into fatty acids. So digestion, first of all, the food is taken into our buccal cavity through our mouth, where we are having saliva, and an enzyme called salivary amylase or ptyalin is present there. This salivary amylase or ptyalin converts starch present in our food into maltose, which is a kind of simple sugar. So the digestion of a starch starts in the mouth. Now the food goes to the stomach through esophagus, which is our food pipe, with the help of peristaltic movement, which is an involuntary movement of our alimentary canal. Stomach, we are having gastric juice, which is a combination three secretions. These are HCl, pepsin, and mucus. HCl performs three different functions in our body. One is it kills the bacteria. One is it kills the bacteria of food which enters in our body through our food. Secondly, it makes the food acidic. And third, it activates the pepsin, which is an enzyme. Now, second is pepsin, and pepsin is involved in the digestion of proteins. Third one is mucus, which prevents the stomach from the harmful effect of HCl, as HCl is an acid and the inner lining of our stomach is very delicate, so mucus prevents us from that. Now the food moves to the small intestine. Small intestine receives secretion from the two major glands. These are liver and pancreas. Liver produces bile juice, which is primarily stored in temporarily stored in the gallbladder. This bile juice moves to the small intestine and it performs two different functions, which are it makes the food alkaline, and second, it emulsifies the fats. Then we are having pancreas, and pancreas has pancreatic juice, which is a combination of three different enzymes, which are pancreatic amylase, which is involved in the digestion of starch, trypsin, which is involved in the digestion of proteins, and lipase, which is involved in the digestion of fats. Now, intestinal juice is also present in small intestine, which checks that the whole of our starch has been converted into glucose or not, proteins converted into amino acids, and fats are converted into fatty acids. In this way, the digestion in human beings is completed in small intestine. Absorption. Absorption is done in our body with the help of villi, which are present in the inner lining of our small intestine. Villi are the finger-like projections which are large in number and are present in the inner lining of our small intestine. They perform a very important function in our body, that is, they increase surface area for the better absorption of food into our bloodstream, as these are very large in number. Now, assimilation. The absorbed food which is now present in our blood is utilized by our body cells through the blood. And ingestion. At last, the food which is not digested in our body is stored in the rectum, which is removed from our body through the anus, which is regulated by the anal sphincter. In this way, the process of nutrition takes place in human beings, and soon we'll study respiration in human beings. Good day.